Yup, absolutely, 100%. Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 95. 95 weeks in a row. My goodness. I'm going to acknowledge my partner in crime, Big Dave, and myself for that feat. That's a ton of commitment and consistency, baby. One of the keys to life, commitment and consistency. Just waiting for the birthday boy to hop on right now, the wise walrus, the sex mongoose, Big Dave, and we're going to get this party started. We got a very special guest on today, entrepreneur John Lee, great guy. John, we're going to bring you on in less than 2 minutes. Big Dave, can't wait to see all of you at CLS Live next month, baby. Happy
What's up?
birthday to Big Dave. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I don't know Instagram. It was interesting. I couldn't join on my other phone. I had to switch phones, and I'm glad I did because it worked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Big Dave.
Hey, thank you. It was probably my best birthday and ever. And I tell you, I've never spoken on my birthday. I had a big speaking week. I spoke at the Ryan Pineda event, and there's thousands there. And then Ed Milet, Marshall, and I spoke the next night in a smaller awards financial planning thing, and it's always good to see those guys. I hadn't seen Ed Milet talk in a while, and he went off, man. It was awesome. And then it was the best I've ever seen Marshall Falk as well as far as speaking. Yeah. And then did the full boat with Dan Chalier. It was amazing. But I spoke on my birthday, and Ryan Pineda had, all those people sing happy birthday to me. It was super cool.
That's awesome. You deserve it.
It was fun.
Yeah, speaking of Uncle Ed, he's going to be our guest for episode 100, Valentine's Day special. We're excited for that. But it's so cool that they all sang to you. You were in great company. And generally from us and the entire 95 episodes and Paradigm Shift community audience, we want to wish you a happy birthday and say thank you for all that you do. And I guarantee it, you already know this will be your best year yet.
Oh, yeah. Every year it's only going to get better and better. That's guaranteed. If you have the mindset, the heart set, and the hand set. In fact, yeah, one of the things that Ed brought up, said he was talking to Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins predicted an 8 or 9 year economic winter. And to me, that was surprising because, number one, I thought Tony Robbins is, more open-minded or enlightened about time, right? That, come on, man. Nobody knows how long something's going to last. If you understand geologic time and infinite time, it'd be impossible to predict 8 or 9 years as far as something like what I don't even believe in, an economic winter. Let me tell you a little bit about physics, Craig, that you cannot have everything go down. I'm going to repeat that. Everything in your life can't go down. Everything in your business can't go down. Everything can't go down. Everything that goes down, something has to go up.
Physics.
So I look at, an economic downturn individually by what's downturning. See, because we've put meaning to certain things like gas prices, house prices, interest rates. We put, certain meaning into things. But for every, gallon of gas that went up to $7, something else you were able to buy cheaper. And there's always opportunity, options, and touches of favor if you have that mindset. So I told Ed, I said, I don't know if Tony Robbins or what he meant by an economic winter for 8 or 9 years, but one, I'm here to tell everybody you have an infinite amount of economic summers coming. You just have to align your skills, your knowledge, and your desire to what's doing well, what's stable, and what you think is going to do well in the future. And at all moments of all time, something's doing well, something's stable, and something you think will be doing well will do well. You just have to be in control of your skills, your knowledge, and desire, and align it to so. So everyone, get ready for an infinite economic summer. and we'll all kick some ass.
Yeah, and being available and the open mind. I love that you said that. I know our guest has a little bit of a time pressure. He's dialing in from the UK, so we're going to bring on juggernaut John Lee. While I do so, Dave, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Looking at your content, as I always do, one really stuck out, and that's choosing distance over drama. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I go ahead and assess who's feeding me and who's bleeding me, and drama is interference, and so I'm going to let drama fall away, and I am going to draw in closer the people that feed me and let people fall away, give them distance, the people that create interference from me and bleed me. So anyway, you got the expert here. John Lee's in the house. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey,
John,
brother, how's it
joining
going?
us. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm doing awesome. How's things? Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year. Are you dialing in from the UK?
Yeah, this is Central London right now, so yeah, it's pretty cold, pretty rainy here, but that's the UK for you.
So cool. I know it's Saturday. I know you got a busy schedule. Thank you so much for joining us. For our audience, if you're not familiar, do a deep dive. Check him out. Follow him. See what he's got going on. We're just going to dive right in. John, you ready for me?
Let's go, man. Let's
We
go.
talk about so many cool, interesting things, and I don't want to keep it refreshing with Dave and I today. What are some millionaire habits that you use or that you've seen with some of the really impressive people that you keep in proximity?
First of all, number one is a lot of millionaires that I know, a lot of the sort of habits is, number one is definitely they take care of their health. They're always, I see a lot of people getting up in the morning, meditating, they go to the gym, they get exercise, but they also really take care of their health. I mean, see, you're in incredible shape. You go to the gym, you work out, but that's where people get their energy from. So that's number one. Number two, what I find is a lot of millionaires that I know, they're constant learners. I mean, you heard David talking about Tony Robbins having this sort of foresight of whether there's going to be this economic crisis, for the next decade. Well, they some of them have this crystal ball, and it's not a crystal ball to say they can predict the future, but it's like history leaves clues, and so does success. Success leaves clues as well. And so I've seen a lot of millionaire habits. And a lot of that comes from experience, right? If you go into a business and let's take real estate, for example, there's 4 cycles in real estate. You got the boom, you got the retraction where they pull back, you have the recession where we're kind of going into right now, and then you have the recovery. And you kind of see these markets, you see signs, you see things that are happening. And so they're really good at spotting patterns as well. It's not something they just put out of thin air. It's like, oh, that worked. First mover advantage, last mover advantage. What can you do to actually take what's working? You look at now with everything that's happening with AI, it's crazy, Craig. I mean, it's insane. So you look at, it's just doing things differently with new tools. And that's what I see a lot of millionaires do. They've got these habits of getting a lot of energy, having a lot of conviction, but also their ability to multiply money as well. That's what I've seen a lot of people do. I mean, I've invested in quite a lot of companies, 4 of those now unicorns. But it took me like 20 years to figure out stuff out. Like, how do you know what company to go into? How do you know how to invest? How do you know if it's going to do well? How do you know it's going to fail? And I have a lot of failed businesses as well. So you kind of get a lot of these telltale signs. And millionaires, they act in spite of fear. Whatever it is, something happens to them, they've got this burning desire to keep moving forward. So that's what I've seen.
Dave, a penny for your thoughts.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I just sitting here learning myself, and I think 2 of the things I would add to that is that all great millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers that I know are intelligent followers. And so no matter how great at what they do they are, they're constantly learning, taking the clues, looking for patterns, and then making better statistical choices. Secondarily, we'll touch upon maybe a different way of saying some of the stuff that John had mentioned. The number one common denominator between the billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers that I've been around for, unfortunately, I am in shape, but at 55, round seems to be the most common shape, even if you work out. I tell people all the time, health is my number one non-negotiable in life. And more people look at me and say, really? But yes, really it is. I spend over, as Craig knows, over an hour a day on my health. And this is what you get when you're over 55, not on steroids or HGH. But more importantly, the desire that you must be what you can be. When I invest in an entrepreneur, I'm looking for, or an athlete on the field, there's nothing that beats the desire that you must be what you can be. When someone has that, like John, like Craig Siegel, I guarantee it's just a matter of time. That's all I put in my mind. When I meet John, when I meet Craig, I'm like, just a matter of time. These boys have the desire that they must be what they can be. So it's just a matter of time till they figure it out. And they're going to make a lot of money. They're going to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun in their lives because of that desire. And I admire both of you and encourage both of you to continue to empower other people to have that desire as well.
Thank you. Dave's in his fields today at 55 years young, and I love that. I know there's so many places we could take this conversation. I want to be conscious of time. Sean, I was checking out your content, and I saw something that was awesome, and I think this would be cool for the audience. You said something along the lines of this: a no now is not a no later. Can you dive in on that?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've done up till today of the last 20 years of being an entrepreneur, there have been so many no's. And here's what I realized is that you can go to the same company and you can ask for something and they can say no. And you go to somebody else in that company and that person can say yes. And so sometimes it's like when I get a no, it's like in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not speaking to the right person. I give an example. So I tour around the world. I'm speaking for thousands of people, and I'm probably on the road probably 8 or 9 months a year, right? Flying around speaking. And do you know, I now have about 25 different promoters that promote me all around the world: Singapore, Malaysia, US, UK, Europe. I mean, a lot of different places in Europe. And actually, a lot of those times when I would say, hey, by the way, I have this book. The book is about this. I would love to do a talk on for your audience. And the amount of no's I got, Craig, was insane. And every year I would keep trying. And, every year, be like, oh, Happy New Year. It's like, an excuse to kind of connect. And then one time it was like, oh, because here's the thing, circumstances change and people's circumstances change. So all because it's a no for now, it might be a no because let's say I speak on stage with somebody else and it might be a conflict of interest. But if that speaker, for whatever reason, is out of touch, maybe, I don't know, they're doing something different, they've changed industry, and I'm still persisting, that's when the yeses come in. Same with investments as well. When you're looking for investments, I remember the first time I bought my first property, this is going back some 20 years ago now, and the property on the market for 185,000, and I got it offered to me at 85,000. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting 100 grand off, but I don't have 85,000. So I went to all these people, started asking them, hey, do you have 85,000? Do you have 85,000? I must have gone through about 250 odd people that said no. One said, well, I don't have the money, but I know somebody who does. And that's when I realized it's not who you know, but it's who knows you, and it's who they know. And she introduced me to a lady who's a multi-millionaire, and she gave me the money to buy the property, 1% interest rate per day. So very high interest rate. And I bought that property, and in 2 months I sold it. I paid off the interest, and the rest became my capital, which is now, turned into the businesses that I've got started as a seed capital.
John came in today, shot out of a cannon, right, Dave?
Yeah, well, it's just amazing how those clues, patterns, and choices occur. And I always talk about my only objective is to build a community of people that want to help each other and know people who can help each other. And to that end, being able to ask, look, everybody has an open mind, John. Everyone on earth has an open mind. It's just a matter of time. And in fact, I personally believe that the best opportunities arise from people who are more closed-minded than open-minded, because a closed-minded person that you get at the right time, as you suggest, a closed-minded person that you get at the right time, they don't have many choices, because the majority of the time they're not looking for opportunities, options, and touches of favor. So if you can get them when they have an open mind, and as John is so capable of, articulating quantitative value to exceed what they're asking for, then you get into a realm of statistical success. So one of the aspects that a lot of people don't understand that do ask, and I tell people all the time, asking is the number one habit that you should have. It will build your community of people who want to help you, and you know people that know people who can help you. Open minds, open hearts, and open hands go together, and they also go together with people who have open hearts, open minds, and open hands. But if you can find an open mind, a lot of times they waste more time, because an open mind, not at the right time, you keep following up, following up, following up, following up. But if it's not the right time, you could be asking other people as well. And I love the systematic approach that you take to make sure that you're asking, but you're also asking, do you know anyone that could help me? That's just as valuable as, can you help me? Especially today, because when we were younger, all three of us, you know, we were lucky if, you know, it was 4 people in a golf foursome, or if it was a card game or a church group. Today, you know, my 12-year-old has 2,000 followers. So he knows a lot of people that can help us as well. And I encourage everyone to read about John, read John's stuff, listen to his extraordinary speeches, and most importantly, hire the guy, right? Empowering people, because you will get a margin of millionaires when you listen to John Lee.
You know, just come back to that, Craig. Do you know, I was doing a keynote in Dubai, and you know, during the pandemic, I had invested in this platform called Clubhouse. It's like a social audio app, and so I was on it. I was using it every single day, and there was a guy that sent me a message in February 2021, and it wasn't until recently where he asked the promoter, "Hey, I see you have John Lee speaking. I've got this idea for this technology. Do you think he'll invest?" And my friend flat out said, "No, he's not going to invest in that." He said, "Why?" "Because he's got something similar he's already investing in." He assumed I wouldn't be interested. So I was just about to go on stage. The guy runs up to me and he said, "Hey, John," I literally, it's like literally 10 minutes before going on stage, he's like, "Oh, I've been trying to get hold of you." He managed to get backstage, and he's talking to me. He said, "I've got this software and it can do this, this, and this, and this." I'm like, "That sounds incredible. We need to talk." So I go on stage, I finish my talk, and you know what it's like, Dave. Like when you go on stage, you come off stage, you get hounded, everyone's asking you questions. So we never actually get to meet. So we have a bowling, like this celebrity bowling thing in Dubai with Floyd Mayweather, Neo, and all the celebs were there. So of course it's jam packed again, and I don't get to see him. Anyway, I decide to stay there till 3 a.m. in the morning, and where everyone's left, and I need a taxi now, right? So I go outside, I have an Uber. Guess who stood next to me? This guy who has been chasing me. And he said, "Look, we've got to meet." I said, "Okay, let's meet. It's 3 a.m. now. Let's meet at 9 a.m. He said, "That's like 6 hours sleep." So sure enough, he shows up on time. Like we both got like bloodshot because I had to fly out that day and I had a lot of back-to-back meetings. And so he shows up, he shows me this software. The software is insane. I've never seen anything like it. This is something that can basically multiply anyone's business through referrals, and it basically has one code that can basically track 5 levels deep for the lifetime value of that customer. I'm like, Jesus, this is a unicorn. And so we start talking, and I asked him, "Well, why didn't you contact me earlier?" And he said, "Check your messages." I checked my message. He sent me a message in February 2021. And this is like almost like over a year. And so this is why you got to keep, if someone says no, you got to keep going at it, because because someone says no, it might be the wrong person. So and that's such a powerful lesson, Craig, that you just brought up, because for everyone listening right now, that is probably, I've been more disappointed than happy when I've asked someone for something, but eventually ends up being a yes.
Yeah, awesome stories from both of you. This was really special. John, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. There's a big time difference. What's the best way for Dave and I's audience and community to support you?
Yeah, I mean, if you click the link at the top, you can see the profiles. Make sure you follow Dave. Dave's got incredible content, puts a lot of content out there. And I've also created our paths have just crossed. And make sure you follow these incredible entrepreneurs. And you know, the work that you guys are doing to really help the next generation of entrepreneurs is truly inspirational, man, because there's not many people that are willing to take their time out. I mean, you don't get paid for this, I don't get paid for this, but we do it selfishly because we know that the knowledge that we have can make if one thing Dave or Craig or you and I say and it resonates with one person, that will start that ripple effect to really revolutionize and educate the next generation of entrepreneurs. So thank you for having me on this. I feel very honored to be part of this. I hope we can do some things in the future as well.
Definitely.
I'd love to get you guys over to the US, UK from the US and Asia. I put on a lot of events that I would love to have you guys come share some interesting thoughts out there as well.
We love that. Thank you so much, and we look forward to connecting further. Dave,
you got it. Just planting seeds under trees that we may never sit under. Make sure you follow all of us. We're here to empower others, to make a lot of money, help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. And I look forward to sharing more stages with you, my friend. And thank you for all your content. I appreciate it. You've made me millions of dollars. You may not know it, and I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Certainly, guys. I'll see you later.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Thanks. Bye,
Dave.
Craigie Poo. See you guys later.
Wait, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you want to land the plane with one final birthday nugget?
Oh, yeah. So, you know, it's so interesting. Here's the birthday nugget. And this one's deep, man. So it's going to rock your world and it's going to keep you up at night. Things that are simple to do, unfortunately, are simple not to do. Things that are simple to do, unfortunately, are also simple not to do, like gratitude. Saying thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up will have the most impact in your life, but it's simple to do. Unfortunately, I figured out why everybody can't do it, because it's also simple not to do. Let that sink in, and we'll be back with you next week. My man, Craig Siegel, the Eagle, I will be here every Saturday. I don't care how if it's a 90 times 900 or 9,000. You're going to see the old man river hanging out with Siegel, the Eagle. Thanks so much.
Love you, Dave. Have a great weekend. Thank you for all you do.
You got it. Bye.
The Paradigm Shift, episode 95 in the books, straight from the UK. Wow. What an awesome conversation. Great stories, great lessons, great nuggets. If you guys don't follow John Lee, do yourself a favor and do that right now. Great guy, awesome content. And obviously my partner in crime, Big Dave, my co-pilot. We want to send him love. It's his birthday. You know what? Everyone that's on this call today, bombard Dave with some birthday messages. Let him know how handsome he looks at 55 years young, if you have a second. I know he'll appreciate it. We love you guys. I look forward to seeing many of you at CLS Live, February 11th in New York City. And thank you guys for joining us on this Saturday morning. We appreciate it. We hope that a couple of the nuggets that we said landed. You were available to consume them, and then you're going to hit the ground running. Let's have a great weekend. Love you guys. We'll see you next week for the Paradigm Shift episode 96. You dig?